There was a part in a history book that I read once where an immigrant was talking about what they were hoping that America was going to be, and they said that in their home country, I think it was Italy, I don't remember, but in their home country, they had heard that Americans just leave pennies on the street. And they were trying to do the calculations like, oh, if I find one penny every block, I'd only have to walk 100 blocks, and I could have a dollar, an American dollar, and ooh, the things I could buy with it. And of course, they got here, and that was not the case. Um, I would have thought we would have gotten a little more ambitious after hearing that. I do want to be the country they imagine we are. Has it changed in 100 years? Has it changed since the days of Ellis Island? Not according to this. An article, I saw it in Yahoo News, but it's from the National Reporter by Marquise Francis. Asylum seekers in New York City say America is nothing like they had imagined. It's chaos. For one 29-year-old Venezuelan woman who left her 2 children and partner behind in her home country to embark on a 6-month journey to New York City, America represented hope. There, she thought, she would find safety and the opportunity to make a living. Is that, by the way, not basically what we're pitching? When we pretend to have pride in America, and I say pretend because I have not seen people who rock these flags or make a big deal about patriotism who I actually thought were sincere. But when they pretend, is that not the thing that they're talking about? Is that not what being an American is supposed to be? It's a relatively safe place where if you work hard, you can achieve anything. But 4 months after arriving in the U.S., she says it's nothing like she had imagined. It's too difficult to come to a place where you don't know the language. The woman, who agreed to speak anonymously to protect her safety, told Yahoo News. Oh, excuse me, this guy's a writer for the National Reporter. Oh, my God, what a fool I am. No wonder I couldn't link to the main story. He's the National Reporter for Yahoo News. Look, your old pal Jake's not terribly bright, but he means well. Speaking in Spanish, the woman had been standing along the granite wall of a bustling midtown Manhattan restaurant attached to the Roosevelt Hotel, which in recent months has been transformed into the city's migrant intake center. Like many Venezuelans who've come to the U.S. in recent years, the woman explained that Venezuela's corrupt and repressive government, again, corrupt and repressive government, huh? Didn't care for that. We wouldn't want to be like Venezuela, would we? Had left her with few options at home. She embarked on the dangerous journey to the U.S. by herself. That was a sarcastic jab at the right, for the record. Traveling through the perilous Darien Gap that connects Colombia and Panama, then multiple countries, including Nicaragua and Honduras, by foot and public transportation. She stopped for weeks at a time to work only long enough to make enough money for the next leg of her trip. Since arriving in New York, she struggled to make money and obtain basic necessities while navigating the city's shelter system. Eventually, she says, she hopes to bring her family to America, but she's unsure how she will make that happen. I just want a job, she said. It's very difficult to get a place when you have nothing. The woman is just one of an estimated 57,000 migrants currently seeking shelter in New York City. Oh, let's add that in. The majority of them have been bussed in from Texas, a political move by Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott to force the federal government to tighten border security. Others have made their way to New York on their own. Let's just talk about that. So Greg Abbott hears this story and stories like it. And what does he decide? He decides that instead of making America better, we should shut it down. Close the doors. Turn around the sign. Let people know, nope, can't come in here. It's closed. I don't know about you, but I hear that, and I hear we need to make America better. Woman can't speak English? Okay. We should make it easy to learn English. Free classes at the local community center. Learning to hablo inglés because she says that's been an obstacle to her. She says it's hard to find a place when you don't already have a job. But she's bouncing around in shelters. How much of her day is she spending looking for where she's going to sleep that night? Do we want her to be productive or not? Forget where she's productive. Forget if it's in this country or that. Do we want this human being to live a productive life? Do we want this to be a place where human beings can earn? Can earn. What about that woman? What about her character? Tells you she wouldn't make a good American. My idea of what an American is supposed to be is basically just what that woman is. She's got the brass balls to work her way to this area. She crossed dangerous terrain and she worked, stopping for weeks at a time to do work for people that needed it done, apparently, and were willing to pay her so she could earn money to get here. That sounds like some Old West stuff right there. That sounds classic American. Hell yeah, gunslinger. Except she was modern. She's slinging the barista mug, you know? Hell yes. If we cannot take somebody with that kind of work ethic, she's a veteran of having kids, for God's sake. If we can't take somebody with that kind of energy, who is willing to travel that far, work that hard, and if we can't make something useful out of her, she wants to play for our team, we're saying we can't do anything with her? Really? That's our problem, not hers. It's our obligation to change the equation here. Because her part of it, it's fine. If you're the sort of person that thinks, well, damn it, the USA is an English-speaking country. I don't want to hear that we can't take a person with that kind of work ethic for that alone. The answer is not to close the door to her. The answer is to make it easier for her to learn English. If I was able to learn English, she definitely can. Just give her a fair shot at it. Don't make her do that thing where she's got to watch U.S. soap operas and learn through trial and error. That's just not efficient. But most importantly, have a little bit of pride. If you're talking to a conservative, insist that they have a little bit of pride, because that woman is going to write home now, and she's going to tell her family America isn't what we thought it was. It's not such a great place, actually. And she's not going to say it's not such a great place for people like us, but oh, those glorious honkies. No. I'm going to tell the truth. It's a unnecessarily cold and cruel place. Let's make that not true. Let's change our part of the equation. And also let's see what the wicked community has to say.